Alright guys, back again. Alright, so before I get into charcoal, I'm going to do one more run, and that's going to be on 100% chips this time. I did have to make one change, and I had to change the plastic coupler here to aluminum. It's melted. And I knew better, but that's just the format we've always used on the DFX system. So just a creature of habit, I guess. But yeah, I did know better. We should have done aluminum to aluminum on both ends of that from the get-go. So anyway, that change is made, and this thing's garbage. All right, generator is run out of gas. All right, so one thing I want to note is when you have your hose attached and you're flaring your machine off, you want to make sure you fully run it out of gas and make sure that valve is off, because if you have the gas on, or if there's any gas in the float bowl, you can suck that out back into the hose, and that could be a potential dangerous situation. So you want to make sure that your generators run completely out of gas before you try to flare the unit. Otherwise, you'll want to add a shutoff valve either at the filter or before your mixer valve. But it's not necessary as long as you're doing that. And one way or the other, you're shutting off you're eliminating gas from backflowing. So anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to make it as simple as I possibly can. So anyways, I'm gonna get to running this. Oh, let's do a moisture check. So, you know, running really any gasifier, but especially this one, or running these small engines, you don't want to run very high moisture content fuel. It's not that it's not possible. You know, sometimes you can, but there's sometimes you can't, and the times that you can't result in you tearing apart that engine. So be safe rather than sorry, and always run dry fuel. So we'll show you here. So this is under 10%. I didn't really get that one all that well. See if I can get one that I can stab. There's a good one. So I'm well under 10%. This stuff is probably closer to 5% moisture content. So I should have no problems at all running this fuel. And this crude little gasifier actually has better insulation than some of even our more advanced systems. Back there is I think that's a 2016 Flex R1. That has insulation in the stainless steel housing, but it doesn't have it in the lower reduction zone, and it's not the dense stuff that I used here on this unit here. I actually don't know the specs on the insulation I used because I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago, and then it's just been sitting in the shed for years, and then I finally dug it out to do this build. But that stuff is pretty dense. I think it was the densest stuff that I could buy at the time, and that roll that you saw in the earlier videos, that was $200 just for that roll. All right, guys, so I'm gonna set you down, try to get you focused in here. Try to do this all in one take, or at least the startup, because I am gonna come back as this runs. This should be about a 2-hour run, based on what I did last night with the unit. This thing isn't quite. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna get to it. Probably won't get the full 10 gallons here. So this is about right here. So I'd say I put about 8 gallons roughly. Ooh, I just got tar on my fingers. She lights up pretty quick. Alright, so I just primed it. Okay, now where you heard that the RPM load down like that, that's the battery bank in the shop applying load to the battery. So we're charging at about 54 volts at 20 amps. It's roughly 1,000 watts. But I think I got the shop lights on, so I might want to go in there and shut them off. Anyways, I'm just going to let it run for a while. I'm going to get a time and time this run and see what kind of run time we get. Alright guys, so we'll see you here in a bit. Alright guys, you hear that? That's the valve that's starting to get fired up. So when you hear that, you want to get this thing, you want to get your generator running on gasoline immediately. Alright, so that was a close one. Alright, so I'm going to let this run and gas for a little bit. And get that cleared out. You want to go at least a half hour. So I'm going to go time that, and then we'll come back and take a look inside the gasifier, see what's going on. Alright guys, so I pulled the ammo box filter, and that hose right there is the hose that was attached to the engine, so I'm trying to drain it just to see what's in it. So I'm going to bring this over around the corner, try to shield us from the engine noise so you guys can hear me. Alright, so I'm going to take the lid off of here. Just inspect the media here. So that's that layer. So you can see that's where the boy, that puppy was really pulling on that screen. Oh, it's actually broke. I wonder if I suck some hay in the motor. So I may have to redo the screen. Alright, so we found something. So anyways, this was roughly an hour and 15 minutes into the run. Let's go take a look at what we got left in the hopper. Woo. Well, it's right about that rib. Hard to see in there with all the smoke. But yeah, it's right to that rib right there. So it's got, I don't know, it may have had roughly a half hour. So not quite a 2 hour run time. But I think the culprit is this doesn't have a hopper vibrator. Let's get away from the motor a minute so I can talk. So that unit doesn't have a hopper vibrator, and I did have to come out here and poke it down and smack it around and knock the bridging down. And that is probably what led to the tar production. Because when you have a bridge, that means your oxidation zone is completely burning out, and then when you correct the bridge, then you're dropping raw fuel in the places where raw fuel shouldn't be. The fuel in the lower, below there should be advanced into the gasification process. So you're going to, of course, produce some tar when that happens. So I have a hopper vibrator on order. It'll be here at middle of this week. So we'll get that installed and see what happens. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the generator out, and then I'm going to switch over to charcoal here later today. Alright guys, back up and running. Trying to finish the hopper off. Alright, so what I did is I doubled up the screen and I filled that with sawdust this time. Yeah, once you get tar in your filter, you want to get that out, because that can reform back into a gas and get into your engine. So anyways, I'm going to run that out, and then I'm going to move on to the charcoal. Alright, so we'll see you in the next video.